I'm saying I want to spend hours with my face between your legs, teasing you with my fingers and my tongue, licking you, swallowing you, getting you off so many times you can't come anymore. That's what I want. That's what I've been thinking about. So I'm going to keep my mouth to myself until I can put it on you.
Marni Mann, she knows what you need. Marni Mann, she writes into your soul, into your dark. Marni Mann, she says you free with her words. Don't be shy, come closer. Breakfast with benefits. Marni Mann.
Let's go to bed.
Welcome to Breakfast with Benefits, Marni.
Welcome. Wow, unbelievable.
Well, we asked Marni to read us a passage from one of your latest book, and we didn't expect that.
And no wonder that you are building huge communities among women when they are reading about this juicy, sexy fantasy. Was this in your DNA, writing all along?
Writing was in my DNA. Romance was not. I didn't start there, but that's all I've ever wanted to do is write. It's all I ever dreamed about. So I'm living my dream in real life.
How old were you when it all started?
So my first book published in 2011, but I wrote long before that. I started in middle school. I wrote all through high school. And then as soon as I graduated college, I started writing books. But it took a little while to get a contract.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And we just learned recently that women's going through so many changes and transitions all their life. I think if I'm right, like 30% in our life, it's all about transitions. And you've been through so many transitions. Like you are a New Englander. You've been living in Sarasota for many years. Also through your books, the memoir, starting something very deep and raw and dark. And you went into fantasy and romance and joy. This transition folded.
Okay, so always wanted to write a book. And then we were living in Boston. I went to school in Maine, and that's where I met my husband. And we moved to Boston. And I was working in pharmaceutical advertising, writing ad copy for erectile dysfunction drugs and Parkinson's drugs. And I was beyond miserable. And I'm like, this is not what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to be an author. And so I saw someone on the train on my way to work OD and die.
Oh, no.
And so it was a really traumatizing experience. In addition to that, I lost a really good friend of mine to a drug overdose. So between the two experiences, I honestly just was so inspired to write a book about addiction. I have a journalist background. So I hit the streets and interviewed addicts literally while they were shooting up. And I was like, tell me everything you're feeling, what you're seeing. I want to know the process, how you got here, why you're doing this. Do you have family support? I need to know absolutely everything because I'm certainly not going to become a heroin addict to write this book. So I need you to tell me. And so Brian, that's my husband, he helped me. We hit the streets and we learned as much as I possibly can. And then my first book is called Memoirs Aren't Fairy Tales, which is the story about heroin addiction.
Yeah.
She writes into your soul.
Was this something to go through your pain and somehow work the pain out of your system because you lost people who were close to you? Was this also intentionally an awareness for the world that there are these people, they are on the streets, they are suffering, and let's help them?
Yes, it was both. So definitely losing one of my best friends was very challenging. And I wasn't present in her life for a long time because of her addiction. And we lived in different states. At the same time, that was a big therapy for me, going through that whole process, learning about her disease. The other flip side of that is that I truly learned that addiction is a disease. It's not a choice. And so...
Oh, that's a big word. It's not a choice. It's a disease.
I think that's a bad stereotype. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to addiction and addicts and enabling. And
because they think they're in control, right? They think, why do you choose that? Lots of judgment going on.
A lot. And so I wanted to prove to people and myself that no one chooses this type of life. No one wants to go through this kind of pain and this trauma and experience and live this toxic lifestyle. And so I took this girl who was 19 years old, who was in college, and a horrible thing happened to her. And she wanted to bury it. And that's how a lot of people start. And so I learned a lot. The book did very well, and Rosie O'Donnell read it, and I was on the Sean Hannity show as an addiction expert. And so,
yeah, you're an award-winning writer as well.
Yes. USA Today, 40 plus books behind your back.
Thank you. Thank you.
How many books do you write in a year?
So it's hard. I'm what they call a hybrid author. So I have a publishing contracts, but I also self-publish. So I do about 2 books with a publisher a year, and then I do 3 indie books. Indie is self. The problem is that a lot of those deadlines I straddle. So that means I'm working on indie books and I'm getting edits back from my publisher at the same time. So technically, 2 books at the same time.
Can we underline this again? How many books we're talking about here again, please? To our audiences.
So I write 5 to 6 a year. I release anywhere between 3 and 5. It just depends on when the deadlines come and how the books hit.
And how do you juggle with this? How does a day look like for you?
Typical question to every woman, because we're so curious how you wake up, what is in your mind, how your day goes. Because every woman has another challenge in their lady time. So we are very curious. And how do you manage this?
Pushing.
Another misconception when it comes to writing is that people envision this author in their office and working when the inspiration comes. And that's very much not my job. I think what people don't realize is that book publishing, massive business, and that I'm running a large business at a scale that I can put out so many books a year. And I have a lot of help. I have a publicist and I have an agent and I have an assistant who is everything to me. And she manages all my social media. So I have graphics people and there's a lot going on behind the scenes where I don't have to do everything.
That's perfect.
So I can focus more on the writing.
And the writing and the inspiration, is it real life events inspiring you? People you meet, maybe your friends who write to you? The inspiration comes.
That's an interesting question. 2 different types of romance authors. There's authors who write from inspiration and there's authors who write to market. And I'm one of those that write to market. So I really believe that I know my demographic really well and I know what they're looking for in a romance. I write a very specific romance, which is called Spicy Billionaire. So I focus on the erotics and almost all my characters are wealthy men. And so I create this dream fantasy of what I think women want when they pick up a book of this particular genre.
It's the Boston Billionaires series.
Yes. And multiple series play off each other. Some of them are interconnected. I'll steal a character from here and then all of a sudden 5 books will fall out. The inspiration is honestly the easy part. My brain has just always been very creative. It could be something one of you said that suddenly will click. I travel a lot. I find inspiration in traveling constantly. Coming up with book ideas is the easy. It's the business aspect of it that's hard.
Well, that's a kind of a bragging inspiration, isn't it? So that's no wonder, because no one can do 5-6 books per year. That's because your ideas are already everywhere.
Like when you're an artist and you work on multiple paintings, it's like the same thing. My brain doesn't ever stop. It's just I run out of time.
Breakfast with benefits.
You mentioned that you know your audience pretty well. Do you get a lot of feedback from women? And what do you think, based on this journey and writing to women, what women want in these books? What gives them desire and joy?
It's definitely the sexual fantasy. It's the alpha men who are very dominant. It's the women who don't have to always think and make the decisions. It's an escapism out of their real life. It's working moms who work 80 hours a week and come home and have multiple children and a husband who's probably very needy. All our husbands are very needy. They need a second to themselves. They need a bit of quietness. They need to escape what their real life is like because their life is hectic and busy and sometimes messy and unhinged. And so they pick up my book and they can completely just escape life. And they're going to get turned on at the same time. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's pretty much my demographic. Yeah. It's women anywhere. There's a lot of 20-year-olds that read romance, but I would say for like Spicy Billionaires, that age bracket is not as prevalent as more 30s to even up to 65.
Next to Billionaire, you're also using the hidden characters, hidden heroes.
I do like second chance romance. I've done a little bit of sports, like football, hockey, done all that.
Oh, you don't tell me hockey, heated rivalry. Oh my, sorry, I had to bring this up because that's my first experience that I get turned on by gay sex.
Okay.
That's how did even happen. I love it. I love them. I think they're my friends now. I miss them a lot. Yes, I miss them. Like I want to be with them all the time. Now it's over. And I think the series did something very interesting, but I think it was for women. What do you think?
Oh, of course.
It was for us mostly.
It's called and it's one of the biggest subgenres in romance for sure. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, it's super popular.
It has a name even for that
it has
genre.
a name.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder all the women, we were all talking about it.
There's also like Why Choose, which is like another subgenre where it's like, you don't have to choose one, you could choose multiple. And then there's also FF, which would be woman against woman. And there's MMF and FFM.
What is the MMF?
So male-female.
Male-female.
Like a trio.
The female male.
Yes. And you can go taboo. I love taboo. There's lots of taboos. You could do like step siblings. You can do half siblings. There's lots of wildness that can happen within
Very spicy.
All romance. Yeah.
I'm writing 10,000 of questions popping in my head right now.
I know. It's a lot to process.
Giving those women, as you say, a fantasy, do you think they carry that to their
Oh, yes.
married life?
I do. Not necessarily the play-by-play, but I think the passion that they feel when they're reading, that it gets carried forward. I do a lot of book tours and I meet a lot of women, and oftentimes they bring their husbands, and a lot of husbands thank me.
Oh, that's perfect.
Husband comes with me. A lot of husbands thank my husband because they think he's my inspiration, which we've been together
That
for.
question is coming.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yes,
We'll get there.
because
But-
I'm very curious about that. What a lucky husband you have.
In your books, you portray certain characters, like Maya in your latest book is strong, independent. She doesn't need anybody to rescue her. Is there a hidden message?
Always. Yeah. I definitely don't ever want to keep writing the same characters over and over again. Generally, I find a character who I respond to well in real life or on TV, or I have a dream and it comes to me and I'm like, this is who I want to copy. Just like the personality aspects. So yes, absolutely. There's hidden messages in all my books. Yeah. And it's how you just want to interpret them. But I love a strong woman who knows what she wants. To me, I just love that.
Are you one?
Yes, half and half. I would say that there's parts of me that's very submissive. And I would say there's parts of me that are extremely strong. And the balance is what I need for my personality.
How long have you been married?
20 years.
You said when you started, you met your husband. 20. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. We've been together since I was 19 and I'm 45. So a long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's nice. As terms of the male characters, how they evolved during your 20 years of writing as their personalities or like stereotypes of sexy men.
They have evolved a lot. Yeah. Well, my writing has evolved a lot. I've learned a lot about this process. My first book took me 5 years to write. Now I write a book in 8 weeks. It's a much different process. I've learned when I was in college, I lived at the football house. My husband played football for our school. I was the only female. So I was surrounded by men all the time. And so I learned all these super dominant personalities. And it was a wild experience that I will one day write about, but I can't.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned so much, like the way they talk to each other, how they interact, like their bond. Men's bonds are so different than women's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, very much different.
Yeah.
Their relationships are so different. The things they say to each other, the things they don't say to each other.
Yeah.
Women are so much more open.
They even best friends, they keep so much away from each other.
They do.
And we share everything as women.
They don't talk about emotions. Is it the
No.
bell? No.
And my girlfriend and I, we're both in perimenopause. We talk about it nonstop.
Oh,
The guys
hello. This is a menopause show as well.
guys would never go there. My husband's not like, oh, I got gout this weekend. He's not going to say that to his brother, who's one of his best friends. They don't talk that way. So it was like, it's that learning process. It's how I started with the men and like living with them. And then developing just relationships, like couple relationships with my husband and I. As we moved from Boston, we moved to Florida, we meet different people. I learn men more as I go on. And so that, I would say those characters have really developed over the years compared to where I first started.
Marni Mann, she knows what you
And how
need.
this transition worked for you guys coming from New England, very different culturally, weather.
And first of all, we absolutely love it. It was the best move we ever made. I mean, I love New England and I love being from that area, but I could not imagine living there now. Not the weather alone, I just could not handle. My bones need warm. I need sun to be around me at all times.
When we were saying evolving sexiness in men, do you think it changed in time as well? The way we see a man sexy today, 2026, was it different back then when you first started writing?
Yes. Men were fully shaved when I first started writing. Like,
Oh!
they didn't want arm hair. They didn't want chest hair. That whole generation was very like, we want a hairless man. Now, men, hair's in. I mean, not like full back hair, but I'm saying they want chest hair. They want arm hair.
Do we want arm hair? Do
See,
we?
arm hair, hair doesn't bother
Like
me.
going natural.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, like it doesn't, arm hair, chest hair doesn't bother me. I don't want to touch my husband and have him like stubbly. Like, I don't want to rub my arm against his arm and it like bites me, you know? So that's changed, I think. But I think the younger generation is different.
I think I cannot handle back hair.
I don't like back hair.
Yeah.
No back hair.
Butt
No.
hair is weird too, I'll be honest.
Which way?
Butt hair?
No, but
No, like internally, like the cheek butt hair.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Now
No.
we are in the
Chest-
subject.
no, chest
Now we
hair.
are
Okay,
there.
My husband has a beard. I like
I
facial
like
hair.
beard too.
I
Hair
know. I
or
like
no
that.
hair? Bald guys or guys with hair?
Now, some bald men
No,
are very
bald guy.
sexy. They can really pull it off
I
well.
disagree.
And my husband is turning bald, and I'm like, you have to do something
I find
about
some
it.
bald men sexy.
Really?
Super sexy.
Me too.
What's wrong with you guys?
There's some actors that are bald that are so good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at some of the covers in your books talking more about men, and their head is cut off or partially their head is not shown.
So the ones that you see that do have heads, those are from a publisher. And then the ones that are head cut off, those are indie published that I self-published. Women are half and half on when it comes to images on covers, meaning sometimes they like to create who they find handsome. So they don't want to have a visual of what I think that the male should look like. Sometimes if you have a cover with it's just like the abs and he's like laying down, they're like, give it to me. So we typically try to cut the heads off because, like I said, they're 50-50.
That's interesting that women are half and half.
I'll go with headless. I liked it because I want to put the head in my own fantasy. I like the body. So everybody likes that body.
Hard not to love that one.
The look, it's important, but especially a million times, yes. There is more complexity about the personalities. Your main character, the ex-hockey player, he's wealthy, he's hiding his wealth. It's more than just the sex and fantasy and joy. It's more about complicated situations. Can you share a little more deep dive into the characters?
Yes, of course. A lot of women call what I write smut, and it's a word that I almost despise because there's so much more involved in these romance books than just regular smut. They're more layered than just they're not just porn. It's not there to just turn women on, even though that is part of what I do. I love the complexity of writing layered characters. And so like in this story that you reference a million times, yes, she grew up and hated wealthy people and she had a reason to hate wealthy people. And so he knew that and he knew her involvement and their past actually intertwined. So he had to hide his identity. And so it is essentially a lying trope. He's not being 100% honest with her. And so that...
And she finds it out. Or not. Yeah. Let's not tell the readers.
No spoiler alert.
So there's this thing called third act breakup, which is very popular in romance. When you get to the third act of the book, the couples break up and then you have to work to get them back together. And that's very taboo in romance because some readers absolutely love the breakup and the get back together because they love the groveling and the fighting. And then some absolutely hate it. They don't want to break up. They just want a perfect story.
And how do you grab the reader's attention, the velocity of the story developing? What techniques or hooks do you use in the beginning of the book that will really keeps them engaged?
I give them sex within the first 10% of the book.
Yay!
It's honestly, it's that is my powerhouse. That is what I'm known for. That's my reputation.
Is this something that you learned or it came like an intuition when you started developing your stories?
It came organically. My first two books, I told you, were on addiction.
Yes.
And then at the time, 50 Shades of Grey blew up. And so my publisher was like, can you write something erotic? And I had never, ever planned on writing romance ever. It was never on my bingo card. And
that was the transition then.
That was 50 Shades of Grey. So then I started and I didn't know anything about erotica. And so I just started. And then it's just sort of like something that you get as you keep going. You know, things become easier. You learn more about your craft. I listen to my readers. I listen to the good and I listen to the bad. But really the bad is what helps me grow as a person. So throughout trial and error, they don't like slow, at least when it comes to me, they don't want slow burns. They don't want to wait till 80% of the book until they get together. They want it faster. So I'm kind of known for writing like one night stands and that helps me get the sex scenes in the first 10.
I get you so because my friend forced me. My friend forced me to read the other one, the Fourth Wing. Am I saying?
Yes.
I'm like, really? Until I get to that point. I couldn't get to that point.
You suffered.
I suffered to read the book. I don't want to know about your dragons. I don't want to know about this. Come to the juicy part as soon as possible. And it's almost at the very end. And I'm like, you tricked me.
As adults, we don't wait until 80%. I mean, we're all adults. I can't even imagine what single life would look like at this stage in my life. But God forbid, if I was ever single, like I just can't imagine you waiting 15 dates to sleep with a person. Like that's not at our age. It's a different life now.
Yeah,
Marni just talking about one of our episode name is Clean Houses, Dead Libidos.
Oh.
So our libidos are dead, Marni.
Oh.
We are hoping to get it aroused again with your books.
Mine is not. Sorry.
Okay, mine done. Like with menopause and everything.
It just left.
It just left.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at you guys. Whoa, that's interesting. I'm going to binge your books like crazy.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Instead of going to your
Yes,
husband, you
that's
can go to the book.
Remember-
and the book will bring it back.
And remember, we were going to ask to Marni that thinking about sex all the time, is it helping your marriage?
It helps my marriage. And we both work from home. So we're always available.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Very good.
Anytime, anywhere.
And I was giving this example. If I would have a job, like maybe instead of cleaning dishes just at nighttime after kids go to bed, washing dishes, holding disgusting things, you don't feel sexy.
No.
You don't feel sexy. I'm so sorry. And woman doesn't work like that. Our brain doesn't work like that. We need a story. We need a hidden
That's the
character.
full
Sorry, I'm not going to switch on one button and then change suddenly. Oh, yeah, come baby, come. No, it doesn't work like that.
Breakfast with benefit.
What do your girlfriends say when you are in a moment of developing or you dreamt about something? Do you share with your close friends?
Two different worlds. It's
Yeah.
like real life and book world.
Okay.
I don't share with my real life girlfriends.
No.
I don't talk about work much, like achievements, or I answer questions or whatever they want to know, or they know what's happening in my life as far as like where I'm at or what I'm doing. But I don't ever do plot points with them. I don't ever discuss books unless they want to talk about a book that I'm working on. But my assistant and my agent, they're my go-to. And I pick their brains and they help me plot. And my husband too. We go for walks almost every day. And if I'm stuck in a plot point, he doesn't read any of my books, but he knows all of them. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's hash this out. We have 3 miles to figure this out. So he's very active in my whole business. And I'm very lucky. He's very analytical. So he sees things completely different than I see. And he's like a huge movie buff and he loves watching TV. He loves thrillers and action. And that really helps me with romance. So he's really great at it. But my team is also amazing. And they help me out of like all binds that I'm in writing wise. And that happens a lot, as you can imagine.
You know what I'm thinking now?
Tell me.
You need to show your face more in Instagram.
Oh, I can't stand it.
You have to.
It's tough. I'm an introvert and I'm very shy, very, very shy. So this job has really taught me how to come out of my shell. And I turn it on when I have to, but I try to turn it off mostly. When I do book signings and everything, I get very overstimulated because it's just so much being extroverted and it's far out of my personality. So when I get done, I get to the hotel room and I'm like, I need silence. Don't turn the TV on. Start sending wine. I have to really decompress. It's a lot. And I'm an only child.
No,
so
you're not shy.
I'm very
A shy person cannot write those things, no?
It's a different version of me. It's so funny. Like when my husband brings me to any of his like corporate events or whatever, I'm like, he calls me the party trick because everyone's so fascinated with what I do for a living. He works in advertising. They don't want to talk about advertising. They want to talk about books.
Yeah,
so they're
desire.
always like, and a lot of them have read it and they're like, your personality is so different than your writing. And I'm like, yeah, that's like Marni Mann, and now you're just meeting Marni. It's 2 different people.
Even your name, when we were first talking
it's
about
very
it, I'm like,
beautiful.
you
I
have
got very
such an
lucky.
amazing creative artist name. It couldn't be a
Is it
better
real?
name. This was in the stars when you were born, I'm sure.
My mom did a really good job.
Yeah.
She named me after the Hitchcock movie. It's just spelled different.
Really?
When she was like, if I have a daughter, she's going to be named Marni. And if like when I was a kid, I hated the name because it was different and no one wants to be different when they're little.
Yeah.
And then I got married and it turned to Mann. My last name turned to Mann. And I'm like, this is just
Marni
so good.
Mann. So, so
Honestly,
powerful.
I know.
Men together.
I know. And most people have pen names and I should have used a pen name. I never thought when I first started that this was ever going to turn into this. I just didn't ever envision all of this. So I started off very slow. I still had a full-time job. I was writing like at night on the weekends. I had no idea that I could make this into a full-time job, that I could even turn this into a business, that it would ever become what it has. I never envisioned.
It's such an amazing journey and so inspiring that actually any time in your life when something is inside you and it's just burning and wants to come out, it will come out. It has to come out eventually. And you made that happen.
Thank you.
Marni Mann.
We were talking about your daily routine.
Oh, yeah. I never answered that question.
No, because we are excited. When there's so many questions and we're so curious about our guests, we don't follow a script.
I love that. I love that.
No, it
a lot of people send like pre-questions. I love that you guys didn't. I love being on the spot. So my daily routine, I get up at 4. I wake up very early.
Excuse me?
I wake up at 4 because 1, the world is asleep, so I'm unbothered. 2, my husband doesn't get on the phone with his job until
When do you
8
go
or
to
8.
bed then?
Late. I stop sleeping.
You don't sleep.
I don't sleep too.
It's
Let's
terrible.
chat. Let's chat
I'm up.
3 a.m.
I'm up. I'm always awake. I probably get 4 hours a night. And if I get 4 hours, I can fully function. I'm fine.
Wow.
I'm pretty good at it. So I go to bed late. I wake up at 4. I hit my office and I have a good 4 hours before anybody bothers me.
Is your office part of your home?
It is. It's upstairs and it's all black. Every inch of it is black. And it is my safe haven den. It's everything I ever wanted in an office. And I gutted a bedroom and completely built, my whole dream is in there. And so no one can bother me. And I get 4 hours of uninterrupted writing time. And then once my team is up, and then the questions start coming in, and the social media starts happening, and then the meetings start happening with publishers and my agent and my assistant, and there's just a lot of busy work. So I start at 4, I write until 8, and then I tackle admin with my assistant or whatever that day looks like. It's a couple hours. I would love if I can go for a walk, do a Pilates workout, whatever, just move my body in some capacity. And then I have lunch and then I go straight back up to my office and whatever I wrote that morning has to be edited, has to be uploaded. Okay, so this is another part of the process is that as I'm writing, there's 2 people who are reading what I'm writing at all times. And they're giving me feedback. Oh. So they have now given feedback over previous chapters. I have to go back in and make those changes because I'm always working very close to deadline.
If you agree with them.
Typically I do.
Okay.
Yes, I would agree with you. There's times where I have not agreed, but I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm making their changes.
But they are working for you. So you trained them like a 2 other brain of Marni. Marni A, the alpha Marni Mann.
Yep.
Then the beta. Okay.
No, they're actually called alpha and beta readers. You're dead on about all that.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool.
You nailed that.
Are they also looking at the market trends?
Yeah, they're steering me. And they're also sensitivity readers. They're reading that for the same time. There's words in our industry that we can't use that are considered now disrespectful. And so you don't ever want to. I would never intentionally ever want to hurt anyone's feelings or say something inappropriate, or they're looking for those situations because I don't ever want to offend anyone. That's a really, really hot topic right now in book world. So then I go and I edit what they have. I edit what I've written that morning. And then I hope to be done. My dream is to be done before 7 so I can pour a glass of wine and be done for the day.
Yeah, it's a long day. I'm very impressed by that system.
And every day.
Because it's like a factory. You're like your own factory.
Consistently every day you write.
I write every day. I try really hard to take the weekends off. It just depends on how close I am to deadline and how ahead I am. My brain needs the break. But about 2 weeks before deadline hits, I'm working every single day.
Crazy.
And I'm working all night, all day.
Oh.
My internet is off. I don't have my phone on me. If my assistant needs me, she literally will text my husband if she has to find me.
Yeah.
I just have to be left alone. I need to get it all done. And then at the same time, my publisher's probably sending back edits that I have to look at or proof notes that I have to look at. So there's just a lot of
Would
balance.
you say there is stress and pressure?
There's a lot of pressure. I don't think I do well with it at all. I force myself to unplug on the weekends. We have a boat and I spend a lot of time on it because I don't want to be around anything or anyone. We travel a lot and a lot of it's for work for both of our jobs. So Brian comes with me, I go with Brian, and we try to extend all those trips like a couple days just to give me a break away from my computer. We were just in Asia, Southeast Asia for the past 3 weeks. That was a break that I needed. It was a rough couple of months of work. So I try to get away. If my computer's in sight, I'll be on it. If I'm home, I'm working. So that is the big problem is that I can't separate home from work. My brain doesn't work that way.
Place.
When I'm home, I'm at work.
I like to ask a question going back to your travels and going to Asia, right? Such a different culture.
Yes.
How your book translates in these different cultures and different culture of women when it comes to, fantasy, Asian women or European?
That's a really good question. So when we were in Bangkok, we went down like what they call the red light district, like in Amsterdam. And it was probably one of my favorite parts of the trip because I got to see women in action. And the government protects them. They have insurance and they have rights and it's a real job and it's a respected job in their culture. And it was so interesting. And I love Amsterdam, and the red light district in Amsterdam was beyond fascinating to me. And Brian and I did the sex show. We watched it. And so walking down that street in Bangkok and seeing the men respond and seeing how the women respond, and it's just, they have such confidence and they know themselves and they're not afraid to put themselves out there. I'm not a super confident person. So I think for me, at least, I learned a lot from just seeing their confidence. It's honestly really inspiring. They're half naked and women of all shapes, sizes, like
the whole body
they
image,
embrace
right?
it. And it's, I love it. Like they're all so beautiful. I just think it's great.
Yeah, this
that's
body image
amazing.
and confidence, and that's a whole another.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for therapy.
Yes, that we can start talking like.
you had any author throughout your journey that you were inspired by, him or her?
Yes, a lot. I love learning from women who have been in the industry longer than I have, who have achieved goals that I dream of. And I love surrounding myself by, honestly, super successful women. They blow my mind with their success and what they've built and achieved. And so I learn so much from them. How to handle the stress, the back end process, things that I can improve as a writer or as a business person, or just everyday things.
Can you share some names?
Monica Murphy is hands down one of my closest friends, and she's a rock star, and she's just brilliant. And Amy Jackson is another one. Devney Perry is another one. They're just very, very successful, inspiring women.
Is it mainly women authors, or
Yes.
you have?
Well, in romance, there are men, of course, but it's a woman-dominated industry. So
So can we say men don't know shit about what we want?
They don't know how to be romantic. Maybe some do.
some do, I think. Yeah, there are a handful of men, and they're very successful, but I'm closer to the women. And I'm so happy for them. It's not anything, you know, but I really bond well with the women. And we do writers' retreats together. We do signings together. So we travel together. Sometimes we do joint signings. And so we're together a lot. And it's really nice.
Do you guys share technical stuff, colleagues?
Absolutely. When you get contracts, I call Monica and I'm like, is this on your contract? Or vice versa, or deals that are coming through, or hey, did you hear about this situation that's happening? We need to be on the lookout. Trends. Yeah, we're very, very transparent with each other. Look, a reader doesn't read one book for the rest of their life. They read millions of books.
Yeah.
So we're not in direct competition.
No jealousy or
None.
I haven't thought about it. There is no competition.
No.
Yes.
We're just really happy for our friends who are kicking ass. And we should be. This is a hard world. To see women be very successful is...
We love seeing that women are kicking ass and they are changing the industry, changing this man-powered world and coming up and leaders and speakers.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the part that you started reading. How do you know so many things about the pleasure, like fantasy, that part? But that's a talent. Being a writer, a talent by itself. Building a business like you have created a factory, that's another talent. But there is another talent, which is knowing the pleasure of woman.
I think that I'm a very good listener and I listen to what women want. I ask them what they want. We talk about it, whether it's my girlfriends or women online or my readers. You know, I have a reader group where we're very open with each other as far as what we're looking for, what we need. And then I think I'm also a very sensual person and I always have been. So I think I'm very in tune to that side of my body. And so I think the combination has really benefited me.
So women send you emails and letters.
I get as much love in that aspect as I get hate. So it's a good balance.
How do you balance that? Some writers, performers, they get paralyzed. And I can imagine the mental processing that. How do you deal with that?
So that's interesting because that's another avenue of like where part of the stress comes in is part of the pressure. And the hate comes in hard. And the better you do, the more it comes. So it's difficult. My assistant is really good at hiding a lot of it from me on social media. She really manages most of my social media. Of course, I'm still present and I'm there and I'm responding to people. It's not like I'm not part of it, but she's a massive part of that. So she hides a lot of it and people say a lot of horrible things about you.
We just a dildo just get into our studio, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a red dildo.
When was the last time that was used?
It looks like from 1930s, 40s.
It's a vintage. It's a vintage.
Thank you for listening.
Amazing.
It's facing. Okay, who's facing this? Our executive producer, Jill Beslav, and she's taking her dildo back. Okay, thank you.
Breakfast with benefits.
Are your characters using machines? Yes, they do.
They do.
Oh, no.
They do.
How about the new ones? The
Toys.
sucker.
Yes.
That sucker is new, right?
It's
5-6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also piercings. I'm writing one right now. It's my first guy who's pierced.
Pierced where?
Like through the
Penis?
yes. So
Penis?
down the center and out the side.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's called a Prince Albert.
Prince Albert?
Yeah.
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
We are like,
You're talking to the most boring sexual two ladies. I'm so sorry.
No,
we should
don't
have been
worry.
asking. I mean, what?
Don't worry.
I'm like,
Hold on. The
I'm over 50 and I don't know this.
Wait,
it's
it's
supposed
important.
to be more friction for us, more,
Something inside.
more stimulating.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not writing that from experience. He's pierced. Not he as in my Brian, but he as in
Imagine
the character.
you're going to your husband right now. You know what? I want you to get
I want pierced.
piercing
He
there.
would be
It
like,
just feels very painful. Maybe the end result is good. I don't know, but the process of going through
yeah,
that
it
feels
must be painful.
jarring.
You gotta be a really good boyfriend or husband to go through that, right?
I don't.
That
What's the healing involved? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot.
Don't be shy.
So you are working on a new
Actually working
book
on two.
too?
Yeah, I'm balancing again.
Can you share a little bit, a little teaser?
I can talk about one. I can't talk about the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just under contract. I cannot say anything. So the one I can talk about is Indie. It's coming out in July. It's called The Irresistible One, and it's a book 4 in a series. But it's about a single dad and a single mom. And I've actually never written a single dad, single mom book, so that's new. His family owns the most successful restaurant brand in the world. They own, say, like Ruth Chris, and multiple different brands within that umbrella. And so he meets her, and it's an enemies to lovers because she's an attorney and she represents the firm that's suing the hero of the story. And so she's a very successful, dominant, you're not going to mess with me woman, but she falls for him and they just go at it verbally. And it's an enemies to lovers. So they start off as enemies, go to lovers.
So there's a conflict already.
Oh, yeah.
Turns into something beautiful. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. I'm at the point where we need to turn into something beautiful quickly. So I have we go by word count in our industry. I know that you guys probably understand pages more, but my books average about 90,000 words. So I'm at about 47,000. So I'm like halfway.
Okay.
That is very hard to follow a story. You have an idea and you have restrictions for that.
We do. So there's kind of a gap when it comes to romance. You want it over 80,000. You want it under 110 typically. So yeah, there's not requirements, but just guidelines. For the
And are your
industry.
books on, like you do audio books, physical books?
Yes, all the things.
Is
You
the
should-
distribution
do you-
everywhere?
Do you read your
No.
own? Why not? I'm telling you, you have an amazing voice, right?
A lot of people have said that I should do audio. That
Yes,
I
you're
should
all-
do it.
yes.
Thank you for.
It's not about thinking. I'm just really hearing you better with my giant headphone as well. You should.
Thank
You don't have time though.
No. And
No.
I hire actors. They do it. Unless I'm with a publisher, then the publisher hires the actors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I self-produce all my own audio. I can't even listen to audiobooks. I can't pay attention. When there's voices in my ear, I treat it almost like ASMR and it relaxes me. And then my brain goes elsewhere and I stop focusing on whatever is playing in my ears. So I can't do audiobooks. I'm a physical reader and I can't listen to my own words. When the audiobook comes in and the actors send it,
Oh, that's very
It's too
interesting.
stiff.
Because you wrote them and you cannot hear them.
it's been a long journey for me. And I appreciate every second, every step. I'm so grateful for all of it. And when I hear them say my words, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just like, I get choked up. I'm like, I can't believe they're reading
Do
me.
you like it though?
I do.
Okay, love it.
Funny man. Breakfast with a funny man.
Do you get attached to certain stories, certain books? You
Yeah,
have
so
favorites?
This is one right here that I released years and years, probably 8 years ago. It's one of my
When
favorite books.
ashes
When
fall.
Ashes Fall.
That is probably one of my less steamy books, but the message in that book is unbelievable. My grandmother was my best friend in the entire world, and I was with her when she took her last breath, and her death was devastating to me. And so as I was holding her hand and she passed away, the only thing I could think about was, I wish I just had 2 more minutes with her.
Oh.
And so I went home that night and I wrote down what I would have said to her in those 2 minutes. It was 4:00 in the morning. She died at 3 a.m. I was all by myself. My house was dark. And I wrote down what I would say to her. And then 2 years later, when I was ready to tackle that, I wrote a book about those 2 minutes. And that's what that is.
It was a beautiful memoir for her.
It's a very twisty, very unexpected. Anyone our age would relate. There's real life tragedy in that book.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
read.
Thank you.
You are 45 only and you did so many things in your life. So when you going to stop? Are you ever going to
I'm
stop?
stopping. Yes, the date is written in my office. I'm stopping. When I turn 50, I'm going to retire.
Yeah. And what else would you do?
I would like to have more personal time. I'd like to not wake up at 4 a.m. I'd like to make sure I work out every single day. I'd like to cook dinner and not have 15 minutes because I just got off a call and I have a book club meeting tonight of 50 people. And I would just like to have more time in my life.
Do you still have something inside you that's still yearning to come out? A different passion, something, I don't know. Some people open a flower shop. We change a lot after 50. We are half of our first life. We are going into the second
you
half.
change a lot. You're going to change a lot after 50.
Oh, I really love photography. It has been a passion of mine. I absolutely love it. I need something creative to keep my brain. I also think when I say that I'm done, I don't think that I'll stop writing. I just don't think it will be at this level. I wrote a book like 7 years ago, right before COVID started. That was a very personal book to me. That was unlike, it's not a romance. It's more like Forrest Gump meets The Notebook. It's a very tragic, sad story that's somewhat memoir-ish of my own life.
Something happened to you growing up?
And like my husband and I, how I met him and how he saved me emotionally and like a lot of layers to it. So I wrote that book and it lives on my computer and it is not ready to see the world yet. And I think that when I turn 50 and I have more time on my hands, I can give that book the love and desire that it deserves. And that's going to be like my holy grail. And I think that I would work on more projects like that are more passion-based, not necessarily romance. And I'm not saying romance isn't my passion, just something that's more personal that I could just write in my leisure and publish when I want and just not have contracts and deadlines. And
Of course, yes. You
That's
want
going to
your
be
freedom.
the book of Marni.
the Book of Marni. I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. I don't think I could ever stop writing, but it just won't be what it looks like now.
You're telling me about stress and you just want that stress a little bit go away.
And photography, painting, writing, it's all part of our creativity, right? Like our creative outlet. We just want to get something out of ourselves. And there are so many channels.
And you will have time to come with us to Naked Magicians.
Yes.
We are all going.
See, I
We're
want
supposed to go all
that.
together and it will be so meaningful.
I want that. I want that every day. And I want to play pickleball. And there's just so much I want to do. And we don't have children. We have so much flexibility. There's just so much traveling we can be doing. I'm just ready for that.
And I cannot wait reading your books.
Thank you.
Yes,
they're
and
already.
I'm sure there are many of our listeners and they are new to your books. So we are so excited to share your journey, your books, you.
Thank you. This was awesome.
So nice to meet you. I can
Yeah.
talk. This is every time like that. We can talk forever. So this is our dangerous. Yes, we
Yeah.
can
Same.
talk. I think that's kind of a therapy for women.
I think women, they thrive off the power of not feeling alone. Because I think that in our bodies, as we get older, there's so many weird things that start happening. Even in your 30s on, just weird things, questions. And it doesn't even have to be physical, it can be mental too.
Yeah.
And I think talking to other women and maybe them not even admitting some of those things that are happening, but just feeling that connection.
Yeah.
You just don't feel as alone sometimes.
Yes.
And I think that's really powerful.
So when we think about it, we are coming from tribalness, right? For thousands of years ago, when the men were hunting together, the women were together, raising the children, picking flowers from the fields and preparing food. We were part of a community, always.
You want to go caveman?
Maybe I'll write a book.
You should have. How
I'll edit
about
it.
the caveman character that you keep talking about? And tonight I'm going to go to my husband and talk about that piercing.
Good luck.
So thank you so much, Marni. Marni Mann, this is perfect.
Thank you
perfect.
so much. This was awesome.
Thank
you are
you.
both wonderful.
Thank you. So grateful.
And that's a wrap.
You guys are amazing.
Marni Mann, she knows what you need. Marni Mann, she writes into your soul, into your dark. Marni Mann, she sets you free with her words. Don't be shy, come closer. Breakfast with benefits. Marni Mann, Marni Mann.